felt your sins crawling on your back. De-individualization is a phenomenon where people decide to engage in impulsive, horrible, and even violent acts. Now, I just gave you the textbook definition of de-individualization, and you're most likely thinking to yourself, oh my god, is this a disorder? Is this a mental condition? And the answer is no. This occurs to normal, everyday people like you and me, and in fact, it most likely has happened to yourself, because what I did not tell you is that people decide to engage in these acts when they believe they cannot be personally identified. Now that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? There are multiple studies on this, including one being by Darren Brown on a special called The Experiments. In one of the episodes, Darren held an event called Remote Control, where each of the participants were each given masks to conceal their identity. And in this episode, they were practically given control of one normal dude named Chris, as everyone around him were actors hired by the show. Now the audience was given choices on what to do. They could choose something good to happen to our boy Chris or something bad to happen to our boy Chris, but either way, he's still our boy. For instance, the two choices are, does he get a free drink or does he get overcharged by the bartender? Does he get yelled at by this one guy or does he get a free TV, etc, etc. Now the audience you would expect would choose the good options, right? Well, my friend, you would be terribly wrong. They all have a mask on and therefore do not feel responsible at all. And so throughout the entire night, the audience makes Chris's night a living nightmare. He gets overcharged, he's accused of touching this one girl, and he gets his own TV destroyed, and eventually even gets arrested for a crime he did not do. And instead of feeling bad, the audience is laughing at him. And then they pull the final straw and decide to have Chris get kidnapped. Now, if this wasn't troubling enough, in the process, Chris tries to run and... Okay, so for the record, Chris is fine. That last scene where he was kidnapped was pre-recorded with a stunt double and was staged. The real Chris was safely delivered to his home and ended up with a letter detailing what happened and a nice little new TV. However, the point still stands. The audience felt no mercy, no moral compass, no compassion towards what was happening to poor Chris. In fact, they laughed at his misery. They treated it as entertainment, like it was a TV show. They didn't care about what happened to him as long as it didn't affect them and that they were not accountable for their actions. And all of this simply because they could not be named. Their identity was personal to only them, and so when they saw what their decisions led to, they instantly felt terrible. Or did they? I asked this question because in the video you can hear one of the audience members very quietly say,
"Do you know anything?"
We're just waiting to find out. I honestly, we're...
Did you hear it? Let me turn the volume up and play it again for you.
"Do you know anything?"
We're just waiting to find out. I honestly, we're...
They were still, after all of this, trying to justify themselves and their actions. In fact, I would go the extra mile and suggest that they only felt remorse and shame when Darren called them out. But let's be completely fair here, Darren was to a point encouraging it as well. But even that's not enough to completely persuade these people. And so notice when Darren called them out for their actions, they instantly felt bad. As soon as their identity was revealed to them, they went back to being people with morals. However, what if I told you we've been through this exact same process? The exact same feeling of feeling inconspicuous and deciding horrible outcomes. Fellas, this is how the fourth wall can be used for so much more than just a simple comedic joke. Now for those asking, no, this video is not going to circle around this study the entire time and how it correlates with the fourth wall. There is this video for that if you would like to watch it. It's a real good one. In fact, that entire intro was basically copy pasted from his video. I have no shame. Facts have been spoken. What I was trying to picture is why we would do such awful things in either video games or maybe even real life. Like, grinding for EXP in Pokemon should not feel rewarding at all when we are literally searching for Pokemon to hurt. We will get back to that though, I promise. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with what the fourth wall is, it's essentially the wall separating reality from fiction. We are watching a piece of media, like a movie or a game. The characters in that reality don't know they are being watched though. Like, for instance, Neo doesn't know he's in a film called The Matrix, but that's his point of view, it's his reality, while in reality, Neo is just a character being portrayed by an actor. However, it's when the writers decide to have fun with this concept when absolute madness begins in the best possible way. And I'd say ever since Deadpool in 2016, it has been more popular than ever before.
Oh, hello.
And now, thanks to Deadpool, it's more obvious to us, the audience, when a character breaks the fourth wall. Ferris Bueller, Fight Club, Psycho, American Psycho, Psycho the video game, etc. However, even more so nowadays, it's used as a comedic tool, such as something like the Sonic the Hedgehog film. However, I was mostly talking about films. What about when the fourth wall is broken in video games? In many games, if they include the fourth wall, they are not going to break it, they are going to shatter it, to the point of where it's integral to the plot, such as Doki or Undertale. Now, that isn't always the case, like in X-Men where you had to reset your Sega Genesis to reset the in-game computer, or in Spec Ops when the loading screens change and break the fourth wall if you kill the wrong people. The point is, when you are playing a game instead of watching a movie, the fourth wall can be used in more creative ways and be a lot more personal. It can be used to make the player feel uncomfortable, like this moment in Metal Gear Solid where Psycho Mantis reads your memory card and says stuff like, "You like Castlevania, don't you?" Or in Arkham Asylum where the game glitches and crashes on purpose to progress the game. However, as unsettling as these moments are, they all kind of have the same goal: to make the player crap their pants. However, there is one game which uses the fourth wall to make the player feel the weight of their actions. Undertale is, for the most part, a cute little RPG that also allows you to make choices on who you want to be, and depending on what path you choose, you either reap the benefits or the consequences. However, the cool thing is that it is addressed to the player directly, not the character. I made a video about the morality system in Undertale and how it intentionally tells us that nothing good will come out of doing the genocide route, and the player deciding to do it anyways because, after all, it's just a video game. And in that video, I explained that what drove the decision to complete the genocide route was entirely out of curiosity. However, after completing and uploading that video, I thought, if it was solely curiosity that drove the decision, why did I still do it? Because you can easily look on YouTube for the genocide route and fulfill that curiosity, so why did I do it? And I think part of the reason why so many players attempted and many succeeded in the genocide route is because, as the game simply tells you, you can. Just like the audience had the option to make Chris's evening a horrific disaster, you had the option to make these characters' world shatter. Each of the main three endings breaks the fourth wall in some kind of way. However, most of the time it's used to congratulate and praise the player, so when Sans addresses the player confrontationally, it does not sit well with us at all. Now, of course, we could talk about Satan messing around with the load points of the game, or when Kara kills you and crashes the game, and as great as those are in my opinion, they do not hold a candle to the moments where the game acknowledges who you are and what you have done. In fact, in many ways, the fourth wall protects the audience from feeling any sort of discomfort or liability, especially in games. We shouldn't laugh when someone dies comedically in a film, but we do. We shouldn't purposely choose the wrong option in the interactive Bear Grylls show. We shouldn't feel good about killing every Pokemon to get our stronger, but we take a sense of pride from that. And so when the characters remind us how twisted our thinking is, it leaves us haunted and gives us a sense of how messed up we truly are when we believe that consequences are relevant in this digital world. Why hello there, how are you, man? You're a national treasure. Thank you so much for watching this video, especially to the very end, since this is, in my opinion, one of the most mediocre videos I ever put out. But seriously, thank you so much for watching this, and if you did like this video, consider checking out my other stuff. Anyways, have a fantastic day. Again, you are a national treasure, and I'll see you the next time.